Welcome to third period Algebra 2, Friday, March the 7th. Today's objective will be to add and subtract rational expressions. You want to also be on the lookout for a YouTube bonus, which is not shown during class. It's only in this video. If you find it, work the problem, show all the work, and get a correct answer, bring it back on the next school day. You will get 10 extra credit points. Today is the last day of the third 9 weeks, so you'll have to turn this in for the fourth 9 weeks. Here is the YouTube bonus for Friday, March the 7th. Algebra 2. The problem is 2 over x minus 1 plus 3 over x plus 3 minus 4 over x plus 2. Solve this problem. Show all work, come to the correct answer with all the excluded values, and you will get 10 extra points. And this will go on the fourth 9 weeks. Here are the answers to the warm-up quiz. These are 5 points each in the long boxes. The short boxes are 1 point each. The most you could get is 35 points. And the lottery numbers are 5, 5, 4, 10, and 6. Answers from last night. You will get 1 point for the final answer and 1 point for the excluded values if you have all of those values. The answers are the following. Number 1 is x plus 4 over x squared plus 3x plus 2. And the excluded values are negative 2, negative 1. For number 2, you should have x squared minus 14x over x squared plus 2x minus 8. And the excluded values are negative 4 and 2. Something that may have caused you a problem is overlooking the following. For example, if you have a minus sign in here and you're subtracting this quantity, don't forget that that changes the sign of the 2x squared and of the 8x. So you would have minus 2x squared, but you would have minus 8x as well. So that could alter your answers if you did not follow that. Number 3, which is at the bottom here, is x minus 34 over x squared plus 4x minus 12. And the excluded values are negative 6 and 2. For number 4, x plus 14 over x squared plus x minus 2. And the excluded values are negative 2 and 1. For number 5, it is 15x squared minus 5x over x squared plus x minus 6. And the excluded values are negative 3 and 2. For number 6, you should have 13x plus 3 over x squared plus x minus 12. And the excluded values are negative 4 and 3. For number 7, it is x squared minus 26x over x squared minus 2x minus 24. And the excluded values are negative 4 and 6. For number 8, it's 5x, or no, actually not 5x squared, but it is 3x squared minus 13x plus 12 over x squared plus x minus 30. And the excluded values are negative 6 and 5. For number 9, 2x minus 18 over x squared minus 6x plus 5. Excluded values are 1 and 5. And for number 10, 6x squared plus 37x plus 14 over x squared plus 7x plus 10. And then negative 5 and negative 2. Today is your notebook check. It's worth 1,000 points. The bottom line for your notebook to get 1,000 points is you must have 70 items. And I've excluded it should be about 83, so I've made it only 70 items. Here is the definition of an item. An item is this. Let's say you have homework from a certain day and it was 3 pages long. That's not 3 items. That's 1. If it's the homework from 3-5 and it took you 3 pages to do it, that's still just 1 item. A warm-up quiz is 1 item. Notes. If you took notes on 3-5 and you have 3 pages of notes, that's still just 1 item. Your tests. You've had a total of, I think, 3 tests this 9 weeks. So 1 test, even if it were 4 pages long, is still just 1 item. You are not counting pages. You are counting days that you had for homework, warm-ups, notes, and tests. If you have between 60 and 69 items, it's 900 points. If you have 50 to 59, it's 800. If you have 700 or 40 to 49, it's 700 points. And we'll take a break here in the middle of this to show you one more thing. Here is your notebook, and most of you have a 3-ring binder. If your notebook is this thick, because you still have first and second 9 weeks in there, I've already checked first and second 9 weeks. It's good that you keep everything, and you should, but you're not turning in first and second 9 weeks. That does not count toward your total of 70 items. So if you take out the first and the second 9 weeks, then it should look more along these lines, like that. First and second 9 weeks do not count. If you're uncertain what the first and second 9 weeks are in terms of dates, then you have not done what on each of your papers as you went along every day. Writing the date on there, such as 3, 6, 14, and so on. The 9 weeks, I believe, started on 1/6/14 and ends on today, 3/7/14. If you have between 30 and 39 items, it's 600 points. 20 to 29 is 500. 10 to 19 is 400, extremely generous. 1 to 9 is still 300 points. That's way too generous. And if you have nothing at all, it is 0. Here is the objective for today: to add and subtract rational expressions, abbreviated. Example 1. The problem is the following. It is 1 over x plus 2 minus 2x over x minus 3. I have the sticks in the cup here. I have the grid with all your names on it. So here we go. What is the first thing I need to do to answer this equation? Storms. Yeah, you need the common denominator on the bottom. That's right. How do I find the common denominator on the bottom, Collins? Yeah, you're multiplying them together. That is right. So here would be the common denominator. It would be x plus 2, x plus 3. And then the same thing over here on this side, x plus 2, x minus 3. Now the next step is to do what? What am I trying to find next? And that goes to Pemberton. What are you trying to find next? Yeah, we're trying to find the top. That is right. So how do I find the top? Specifically, this numerator here. How would I find this numerator at the top left, Woodrow?
Multiply it, pretty much cross multiply by the other one.
Yeah, you would multiply this by this, and that would just give me x minus 3. All right, and what would I do to find this numerator here? That goes to Preston. Yeah, cross multiply with the other bottom. So I'm multiplying this 2x by this x plus 2. Okay. What is the next thing that I need to do? And that question goes to Fowler. Yeah, we're going to add like terms across the top. That's right. So, when I do that, I have this and then this. Is there anything that I can do to this here before I start adding like terms? And that goes to Alan. Simplify the top, that's right. So we have x minus 3, and then there's going to be fraction bars. I'm going to simplify this here. This is what I'm going to simplify. So I'm going to multiply 2x by x plus 2. What do I get when I multiply 2x times x plus 2, McAllister?
3x.
Close. What would I get when I do that multiplication? Jenkins. Okay, then Holiday's not here, so we'll leave his stick out and put everything else back in. What would I get if I multiplied these two together? Preston. 2x squared plus 4 what?
4x.
That's right, plus 4x. Okay, now on the bottom, I can simplify my denominator. I want to multiply x plus 2 times x plus 3. And remember, to do that, you have to do x times x times 3, and then 2 times x, 2 times 3. And add like terms in there. So what would I get when I multiply these two together? Storms.
X squared plus 5x plus 6.
That's right. X squared plus 5x plus 6 is right. So we'll go to Storms, and I got to give Preston a point from beforehand. Okay, next up, what am I going to write here at the bottom right? And that question goes to Jenkins. He said pass. Collins.
X squared minus 1 minus 6x.
Nope, that's not what we would put up there. Alan, what would we put right here? Whoops, I need my pointer right here.
Same thing as on the other side.
Yeah, the same thing as right here. So it's x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, next up. Yes or no? Does this minus sign cause this quantity here to change signs? Yes or no, McAllister? Yes, it does. All right, so if I have x minus 3, and then I change the sign of this to minus 2x squared, and the sign of this to minus 4x, I can go down through here and just fill in my denominator as it was before. X squared plus 5x plus 6, x squared plus 5x plus 6. I need to add like terms together through here. I have x minus 3 minus 2x squared minus 4x. And these have already been changed. In fact, we can write it like this, as one fraction, and take out one of those denominators and just have one fraction. That's not an equal sign there, that's just part of the fraction bar. What is the first thing I would write from this if I'm going to add like terms? What is the first thing, Woodrow?
The x and the negative 4x.
Close. What's the first thing I would put down, Pemberton? What's the first thing I would put down, Fowler? What's the first thing that I would put down, Woodrow?
2x squared x.
That's right. Negative 2x squared is right. That's the first thing you would put down. Okay, so we've taken care of this. What two terms in that numerator can I now combine? What two terms can I combine? Pemberton. Negative 4x is right, and what's the other one? From what we have left up here. Negative 4x and x. That's what we're going to combine together. All right, so when I have this, x minus 4x, what is the result? Jenkins. Jenkins. Fowler. Allen. Yeah, that'd be negative 3x. And what is the last thing that I would have to write in the numerator? That goes to McAllister. Nope, not squared. What's the last thing left in the numerator, Preston? Minus 3 is right. Okay, what do I put on the bottom there, Collins?
X squared plus 5x plus 6.
Yes, x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, there's your answer to the subtraction problem, but I still have something else to do. What must I do next? Storms. Yeah, find what x cannot equal to. Cannot be equal to. It's hard for me to talk and write at the same time. Okay, so how do I find what x cannot be equal to? And we will start over. Woodrow.
By taking what's at the bottom to the top and setting it equal to 0.
That's right. Set your denominators from right here equal to 0. So x plus 2 equals 0 and x minus 3 equals 0. What is the result of this equation? What does x equal in that equation? Storms. Negative 2 is right. What does x equal in the other equation? Preston. 3 is right. So we end up with x having excluded values. It cannot be equal to negative 2 or 3. He's got to try hard to be the comeback king. Here we go. All right. You do not have to have plus or minus for your answers. This is an Algebra 1 topic, and if you haven't reviewed it for a while, you wouldn't know to put plus or minus. And we haven't done enough of this yet. So if you just have 10, 5, 5, 2, and 2, that's fine. Your lottery numbers are 4, 6, 10, 5, and 3.